You are the personal representative of your family's estate. You have the legal authority to sell the home. You've done the hard work, you've hired an attorney, you're ready to move forward. And then you hire the wrong real estate agent. It happens more than you'd think. And when it does, it can cost your family months of delay, thousands of dollars in unnecessary expenses, and in some cases, a lawsuit. We work with families just like yours in Orange County every day who come to us after a bad experience with an agent who has no idea how probate actually works. So today, we're going to fix that. We're going to walk you through exactly what to look for in a probate real estate agent, and just as important, what to watch out for. What a probate agent does, what a regular agent can't. Let's start with the basics. A general a general real estate agent knows how to list homes. They know how to market, negotiate, and close. Those skills matter, but probate is a different world. Think of it this way. A general agent is like a handyman who is able to repair most things around the house. A contractor who restores a historic property with code violations, a disputed title, and three families arguing over blueprints. A probate agent is the specialist, the builder. You don't go to your handyman for restoring a historical home. Same idea here. The core skills overlap, but the job is completely different. One wrong move and the whole project stalls. Probate sales in California move on a court timeline, not a market timeline. The court sets the rules. The court confirms the sale. The court can require an overbid process that a general agent has never seen before. If they miss a step, the sale can fall apart, and you may have to start all over. A trained probate agent knows how to price the home in line with the probate referee's appraisal. They know how to communicate with the state attorney at every step. They know what documents you need as the personal representative. Your letters, testamentary, or letters of administration. And they know how to work within that framework. They also know what happens when a home is occupied, and that brings us to one of the most misunderstood parts of the whole process. Every probate situation is a little different. If you're handling a probate property in Orange County and aren't sure what your next step should be, I'm happy to answer questions and point you in the right direction. The difference between an heir, a former spouse, and a squatter. This is where families get into real trouble and where the wrong agent makes things much worse. Let's say someone is living in the home when your parent passes. Who is that person? It matters a great deal, legally, emotionally, and strategically. Scenario 1, an heir who lives in the home. An heir is someone who has a legal right to a share of the estate. If your sibling was living with your parent and is also named heir, they have standing. They're not a squatter. They may have rights that affect the timeline and the sale process. That does not mean they get to block the sale forever. As the personal representative, you have authority to act in the best interest of the estate. But how you handle an heir who is living in the property is different from how you handle someone with no legal claim. Your probate agent needs to understand this difference. They need to work alongside your attorney, not around them. Scenario 2, a former spouse. This one is complicated. California is a community property state, depending on when the divorce was finalized, whether the property was divided, and what the trust or will says. A former spouse may or may not have any claim to the home. In some cases, a former spouse left the marriage years ago but never moved out of the record. In others, they returned after death and are now claiming a right to stay. Your probate agent cannot give you legal advice on this. Neither can we. But a good probate agent knows to stop, contact the estate attorney immediately, and not take any action that could create legal liability for you as a personal representative. The wrong agent, they might pressure you to just change the locks. That could expose you to a lawsuit. Scenario 3, a squatter or a family member with no legal claim. This is the hardest one emotionally. A cousin, a nephew, an old friend of your parents. Someone who moved in and has been living there for months, sometimes years. They may call themselves a caregiver. They may say your parent gave them permission. They may have a sob story that is completely genuine. None of that gives them a legal right to stay in the home. Under California law, this person is occupying a state property without authorization. They need to vacate. The process for removing them is called an unlawful detainer action. It is not the same as a standard tenant eviction, and the timeline and rules differ depending on status and how long they've been there. A probate agent who has never dealt with this before will freeze. They won't know how to advise you. They may even tell you to wait it out, which could delay the sale by months. A trained probate agent has seen this before. They will help you coordinate with your attorney quickly, document the situation properly, and keep the sale on track. We did a full video on this exact topic, family evictions from estate properties. We'll link it at the end of the video. These are the key questions to ask before you sign with anyone. When you interview a real estate agent for a probate sale, you're not just asking about commission rates and marketing plans. You're evaluating whether this person has a specific experience your situation requires. Here are the questions we recommend you ask and what the answers should sound like. Are you familiar with the Independent Administration of Estates Act? This is a California law that governs what a personal representative can and cannot do without court confirmation. A probate agent should know this cold. If they look confused, move on. Have you ever worked on a sale where someone was living in the property without authorization? Listen for the specifics. What did they do? Who did they contact? How was it resolved? A good agent will tell you a real story, not a vague answer. How do you work with the state attorney during the sale? The right answer involves regular contact, shared documentation, and clear communication. If the agent sees the attorney as someone who gets in the way, that's a red flag. What is your experience with the probate referee appraisal process? Every California probate sale involves a probate referee, a court-appointed appraiser. The listing price must align with that appraisal within certain limits. Your agent needs to understand this and know how to price accordingly. What happens if the court requires an overbid? An overbid hearing is a court process where other buyers can raise the price above the accepted offer. A trained probate agent has managed this. A general agent may never heard of it. Now let's talk about Orange County probate timeline and what your agent must know. Orange County has its own probate court process, its own local custom, and its own timeline patterns. A probate agent who works primarily in LA County or San Diego may not know these nuances. Here's what the general California probate timeline looks like for a real estate sale and where your agent fits in. This process typically begins when the estate is opened with the court and the personal representative or executor, whatever you'd like to call yourself, is formally appointed. That's your letters testamentary or letters of administration are issued. From there, the probate referee is assigned and conducts their appraisal of the property. Your agent needs to know what that appraisal is before they set a listing price. When the home is listed and goes under contract, but this is not like a regular sale, the contract must be submitted to the court for confirmation unless the estate qualifies the administration. If court confirmation is required, which is limited authority, there is a mandatory waiting period and a court hearing. At that hearing, other buyers can appear and place higher bids. Your agent needs to prepare your accepted buyer for this possibility. All of this can take several months, sometimes longer if the property is occupied, if there are multiple heirs or disagree, or if the state has title complications. An agent who tells you this will be quick and easy has probably never done this before. How to protect the estate and your family through the sale. You didn't ask for this role. Most personal representatives didn't. You're grieving, you're managing family relationships. You're trying to do the right thing, legally and morally, under a lot of pressure. The right probate agent takes some of that weight off your shoulders. They don't just sell the house, they coordinate that process, communicate with your attorney, navigate the occupancy issues, manage buyer expectations, and keep everyone moving toward the finish line. Here is what that looks like in practice. From day one, they should be in contact with your probate attorney, not competing with them, working alongside them. They should give you a clear written timeline with the steps specific to your estate situation. They should be honest with you about what could cause delays: an occupant, a disputed appraisal, a sibling who won't sign, and have a plan for each scenario. They should never pressure you into accepting an offer that doesn't meet the court's requirements just to move fast. And they should keep the whole family informed, not just you. When multiple heirs are involved, communication is everything. Misunderstandings between conflicts. Conflicts become court disputes. A good probate agent helps prevent that. If you are in Orange County and you're not sure where to start, or you're already in the middle of this and things feel off, reach out to us. We work with families at every stage of the probate and trust sale process. We can help you find the right attorney if you don't have one. We can review your situation and tell you honestly what the path forward looks like. There's no pressure, no sales pitch, just a conversation. Visit us at orangecountyprobateservice.com. It covers the full process from start to finish in plain language. And if this video helped you, please share it with a family member who's going through this too. It might be exactly what they need today. I want to remind you, I am a realtor. This is not legal advice. We are not attorneys or CPAs. Always work with a licensed California probate attorney and a qualified tax professional for your specific situation. Bye.